What's up, everybody? You are very welcome along to Sunday night's late night agenda. This is take 2. I'll let you in on a little secret. We did have a few errors a few minutes ago, but we deleted that and started the stream again. So look, I hope that you're all well, everybody. I hope that you're being as unbearable as humanly possible. It is our job as Premier League champions to be as unbearable as we possibly can, and to just remind everybody that this Liverpool team could potentially be the greatest team of the modern era. So do your jobs, make sure you're unbearable, but most importantly, have some fun with it. You know, be creative, do it in your own way. Connor's out there in social media land, and he's making sure that he's keeping up the old unbearable tag, and it is our duty as Premier League champions. We are back, everybody. I hope that you're well. I hope that you had a lovely weekend. It was nice to have a day off yesterday. Myself and Connor had a call with the Pune India OLSC, and it was lovely to chat with some more people from around the world about the Red. So thank you very much to those guys for the invite, Nikhil and the gang. I really appreciate it, and I know myself and Connor certainly had a very good time. So look, ladies and gentlemen, there's a load for us to get through on tonight's stream. Let me get stuck into it, because there really is a lot of news after coming over the past 24 hours or so. It's mad when you take one day off. You know, you got to get straight back into it. But look, let's start with Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola, and he has confirmed that he's the guard of honour when they meet at the Etihad on Thursday. Last season's winners will no doubt be highly motivated to try and wrestle the Premier League title back from Jurgen Klopp's men next season. And speaking about it, Pep Guardiola said, "We're going to do the guard of honour, of course. We will greet Liverpool when they come to our house in an incredible way. We're going to do it because they deserve it." So look, banter aside and all that, and there will be lots of banter, by the way, heading back and forth. It is nice to see Guardiola come out and say that, so fair play to him. And I'm sure he'll use it as motivation to try and get his players to wrestle back that Premier League title, as I said, from Liverpool. But it's going to be a good fight next season, and I very much look forward to it. Joanne, thank you very much for the onset super sticker. It's not an Anfield Agenda live stream unless Joanne puts that in, so thank you very much, Joanne. Hello to everybody, by the way, that's coming into the chat as well. Lovely to see you all in again. And thank you very much for your kind patience while we had those few issues a little while back. But look, let's start again. A lot of people are wondering about the title of tonight's stream and wondering when Liverpool will be awarded the Premier League trophy. We did know originally that it was going to be against Chelsea before the enforced break, but the good news is that's exactly when Liverpool are going to get the Premier League trophy. So they have confirmed that the Reds will be awarded the trophy in the last home game of the season, which is scheduled at this moment to be July the 18th. But that could be altered a little bit for television purposes, so it depends on whether Sky or BT, whichever one has the rights to it, when they decide to show it. But it will be the Chelsea game, and it will be in and around July the 18th. That's currently when the game is scheduled to take place. So, yeah, Hendo Shuffle, last home game of the season. Who wants to see it? Who's looking forward to it? I am fucking dying to see Hendo raise that Premier League trophy above his head and do his little Hendo Shuffle. I love that our captain has trademarked a trophy celebration, by the way. It is class. It's class that, one, we're able to do it so many times that we get to know a Hendo Shuffle, because you've got to win these trophies to make sure that the captain can do it. So I know Hendo's, well, I don't know because I don't know Hendo, but I'm sure Hendo's very much looking forward to it, and I know you guys are as well. So again, just to confirm that will be the last home game of the season, which currently is Chelsea, or will be Chelsea. And look, good evening to everybody else in the chat. Let me start getting into the transfer gossip, because I know that you guys are like me and you do love a transfer rumour. So let's get stuck in with the big one first, the one that you're all probably waiting for, and that is this gentleman here. 1, 2, 3, 1 second. Where is it? Yes, this gentleman here, Koulibaly. So let's have a chat about reports in Italy that suggest Liverpool believe that they can get Koulibaly for lower than De Laurentiis and Napoli's £90 million asking price. So there is an article out there, and the article reads as follows. Napoli president Aurelio De Laurentiis previously said that the club would turn down any bids lower than or around the 60 million mark for Koulibaly. Dejan Lovren, who was rumoured to be a part of this potential deal, and I still treat this with absolute scepticism, by the way. I don't think that Liverpool are going to shell out this much money for a defender. But anyway, Lovren has made just 10 Premier League appearances for Liverpool so far this season, and has only got 1 year remaining on his contract, and he has been linked with a move away. So it's easy, I suppose, to tie this in, and I've often said that I can see Dejan Lovren potentially going to Italy. So I suppose there is some sense to this, but I'm just maybe I just don't want to let myself believe. Do you know what I mean? Because we'd all love Koulibaly. Who wouldn't? Manchester City fans, they've been linked with them. I know that they'd absolutely love to have Koulibaly in their ranks as well. So, anyway, with Virgil van Dijk, Joe Gomez and Joe Matip already at the club, Jurgen Klopp has several impressive options at the heart of the defence, but he's still considering a move for Koulibaly. There's much interest in Koulibaly from other clubs at Manchester City, having also been linked with a move for him. Again, this is all out there from an article that stems from, I think, it's Tudo Sport, I think the article stems from anyway. But look, again, you know my take on Koulibaly, everybody. We have so much of a laugh about Koulibaly on this channel because people said to me for months, Craig, do you think Liverpool are going to be in for Koulibaly? And I've said no, because I can't see us dropping 90 million quid on a 29-year-old. But if there's a deal to be done, if Napoli and De Laurentiis will lower their asking price, and if maybe Dejan Lovren can be included as, I don't want to say make weight in the deal because I think that's a bit disrespectful, but if he can be included as part of any potential deal, then, I mean, who wouldn't want Koulibaly? We'd all want Koulibaly, surely, but I don't know. I don't know what to say, ladies and gents, because I don't want to let myself believe. Does anybody out there believe? Let me know in the chat if you guys actually believe that we are really going in for Koulibaly, and what type of price do you think we'd have to pay on top of adding Dejan Lovren to any potential deal. Now, we probably will see a lot more swap type deals happening in Europe because of what's going on with the world, and we've seen already that Barcelona and Juventus have done a deal for Arthur to go from Barcelona to Juventus and Miralem Pjanic to go the other way, and I think Barcelona are paying something like 9 or 10 million quid. No, it's the other way, isn't it? Yes, Juventus are paying 9 or 10 million quid on top of giving Pjanic to Barcelona because, you know, Miralem Pjanic I think is 30 years of age, whereas Arthur's 24, something around that mark. So, good piece of business, but, you know, Pjanic is 30 years of age, but there's no denying that Pjanic is an absolutely wonderful footballer. So, yeah, you will probably see more of these type of deals. But look, I'm going to dip into the chat and see what you guys think. Fernando said, yes, I believe. Satoshi said, no. Charlie Martin said, I don't want Koulibaly whatsoever. Who do you think will sign this summer? Going to go into that as the stream goes on, Charlie, because I do have some more links to players who I'm actually, you know, somewhat believe we might have a link to. Craig, would it be ruling out Sepp van den Berg and Hoover coming through, said Scotty. I don't know, Scotty, because Sepp van den Berg and Kylian Hoover are probably at least a year away from really cementing themselves into the first team squad. So if we were to bring in somebody as a fourth choice centre back, well, he wouldn't be first choice if we brought in Koulibaly, but if we brought in another centre back, that would mean we've got Virgil van Dijk, Joe Gomez, Joel Matip and an other, whoever that is, whether it's Koulibaly or whoever it might be. So that gives Jurgen Klopp 4 first team options, and then we know Fabinho can drop into centre back. And we do have, as you said, Kylian Hoover and Sepp van den Berg, but I would like to think that they need more time to progress, and I would rather go for an older centre-back or right the other end and go for a young centre-back. I don't really want something in the middle, if that makes any sense. He's just turned 29, 3 good years left on him, said Elijah John 5. Again, mate, I have no argument with regards to the quality of this man. He's one of the best centre-halves in world football, without a shadow of a doubt, but it's not very Liverpool-like to go out there and drop that much money on somebody who has no potential resale value at the end of his contract. So, I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens. But I just wanted to report it because it was put out there, and you know, you have to wait and see with these things. I'm going to lower down my microphone a little bit because I think I'm a tad high. Bear with me. There you go. That should be a little bit better. Anyway, let's move on to the next item on our list. The next player to talk about, and that is this gentleman here, Adama Traore. Now, just before I came onto the stream, I hadn't even got this in my notes, so I'm going to be reading it off my phone. Just before I started tonight's stream, Connor sent me something about Adama Traore, and I'm going to share it with you guys now. This comes from a Twitter post from LFC Transfer Room, and they're quoting Mundo Deportivo as their source for this. So it says, Liverpool have now placed an offer on the table for Wolves winger Adama Traore. The Reds are one of a number of sides who have made offers to take the Spanish forward away. Now, I don't know about this. I don't know with regard, I know I'd like him. I've been saying that to you guys for the last couple of days. The more I think about this, the more I'm starting to warm to the idea of Adama potentially coming to Liverpool. I was a little bit skeptical because he's had one good year really in the Premier League, but when you hear our manager speaking so highly of him, and then you see his performances towards the tail end of the season for Wolves, he's coming on and he's drastically changing games. His end product has gotten a lot better as well. There's no mention of any potential transfer fee in this one, but I think this would make sense. This would make sense to me if there was truth to be had in it. 60 million is a figure I've seen mentioned elsewhere. I don't know if Liverpool won't wait and see what happens with Wolves with regards to the financial side of it, because Wolves owner, I think, is the fifth richest owner in the Premier League, if my memory's right. But look, let me know your thoughts on this one, everybody. The Adama Traore one is certainly one that I think there's some belief to. What have we got? Somebody said, I want him, said Kylian. Rabadan said, Traore would respond tremendously to Klopp. Thank you for the super chat, Rabadan. Always appreciate it, sir. John Conway said, Chelsea versus Man United in the weekend, the 18th of July in the FA Cup. Don't really care about the FA Cup, mate. We're knocked out of it, but thank you for the super chat. And yes, it is Chelsea versus Manchester United and Arsenal versus Manchester City are the semi-final ties in the FA Cup. And thank you, John, for putting that into the chat, mate. I didn't mean to be disrespectful to you. I mean, we're not in the competition anymore, so I wasn't really going to pay it much attention, to be honest. But thank you very much indeed. Well, look, what do we think of Adama Traore? What price have you guys seen for him? I don't think there'll be a shortage of clubs who are interested in bringing him to their team. But Wolves are still in the hunt for Champions League football themselves. They're level on points, I think, or maybe they've gone ahead of Manchester United and played a game more. But if United win that game in hand, I think they're level on points with Wolves. So, fifth spot could potentially get Champions League football if Manchester City's ban, FIFA or UEFA ban for the European Cup is upheld by the Court of Arbitration for Sport. We'll know that in a couple of weeks. Isa said we don't have enough money for him. Maybe, yes. I mean, I can't argue with you, because every journalist that you see out there is saying that, football landscape has really changed with regard to the finances, and a lot of people won't be spending a lot of money. You even heard Ole Gunnar Solskjaer come out and say that Manchester United's transfer business will absolutely be affected by what's going on right now in the world. And they've been linked with everybody. I mean, the media have linked Manchester United with literally everybody. I know Klopp played a little bit of tugging on our heartstrings a little bit, talking about Jadon Sancho and saying that he'd look good in a red shirt. Cleverly said that because, of course, United wear red as well, and that's what I read into it. But Klopp said he'd be as surprised as anybody if Jadon Sancho came to Liverpool. Right, so with regards to Adama Traore, HKM reckons 45 million, Kyle reckons 40 to 55, Pushkas, as God, reckons 30 to 40 million. I can't see any way, mate, personally, just an opinion, that 30 to 40 million would get him out of Wolves. I just can't see it happening. I think it would be a lot higher than that, even in this crazy market that we're in now. Reactor Sincere absolutely agrees though. Puskas is a god and said 30 to 40 million. Yas Mangat has gone for 47.35 million. I like how specific that was. Well in. 70 million for Adama, said Mark Hendley. What else have we got? Somebody else that I'd be interested in, Connor Cody. He'd be brilliant. I don't think we'll see Connor Cody, but I've always said with regards to Connor Cody, it is absolutely class to see him in the Premier League, captain in a club like that. He dropped down to the divisions, went to Wolves and came back up as their captain. It's great to see. What have we got? He could play the front three places, said Dave Smith, with regards to Adama. He absolutely could. And that's one thing that does make me believe that this could be potentially true. And you've heard a manager saying about Adama Traore that he's unplayable when he's on his game. So, again, this is just one of these situations where people are going to have a pop at me and people are going to say you're putting bullshit transfer links out again. And my argument to this is every transfer link right now is bullshit, because none of us really know what's going on. But all I can do is bring you guys the news. We can have a conversation about it, and then people can make up their own minds about whether they think these links are legitimate or not. Liz Golden said 50 million plus Shaqiri. I don't know if Shaqiri would go to Wolves, Liz, or if Wolves would indeed want Shaqiri, but I do have a little bit of news on Shaqiri. He is actually back in training. He's been out of action since January, but he is back in training now. Yeah, there you go. Great news, I suppose, but I don't know how much game time he potentially get for the end of the season, and I'll touch on that a little bit later on, because there's a reason I'm saying about limiting the game time for Shaqiri, and I'll touch on that a little bit later on in the stream. Dave Smith says 60 million, Wolves don't want to sell him. 50 million plus just because he has Premier League experience, said Sean O'Donnell. I think the 60 million mark roughly is probably what they'd ask for. I see the City channel in there, I think 70 million. I think before COVID, mate, this 70 million would probably be a bit more likely, but with what's going on in the world right now, I don't know if they... I don't know, just they can ask for what they want, I suppose, but I don't know if anybody would have 70 million to drop on Adama Traore, or indeed on many players. Right, what else have we got? I've more transfer news for you guys to go through as well. And again, this was a bit of a late one for us, but it's somebody that we've spoken about a lot on the channel. This gentleman here, if you don't recognise him, this is Ben White. He is currently on loan at Leeds United, but he is a Brighton and Hove Albion player. He's been very impressive for Leeds in their push for promotion to the Premier League. They actually look like they're nailed on to come up at this point, to be fair. And again, let me just pull up the information here. So... again, this comes from LFC Transfer Room. I like to give credit, and they're quoting the Athletic UK as the source for this one. They said, Liverpool have watched Ben White closely before lockdown. The English defender earns £10,000 a week at Brighton, his parent company, or parent club, excuse me. That salary fails to reflect the quality of his first season in the Championship. He has 2 years left on his contract. Now, this guy is somebody who I think we should absolutely be going for. Somebody who I think could be available for around the 15 to 20 million pound mark. This to me smells of a Liverpool signing. This is exactly the type of signing that Jurgen Klopp likes to make, and somebody who I think... I'm actually delighted to see that the Athletic have come out and said that we are absolutely scouting this kid. I think he's a very talented young defender. Again, somebody who I think will improve massively under Jurgen Klopp's tutelage. But again, I want to know what you guys think of him. Have you watched much of Ben White? I think he's class. I've started watching him over the past few months. John Conway said said nothing. He welcomed Anfield Agenda FC. John, lovely to have you with us, the newest member of the channel. Thank you very much. If you want to become a member like John, there is a link in the description, ladies and gentlemen, or you can hit that blue join button. What else is there? And look at this. This is why I love our subscribers. They're just welcoming John into the family. And John, make sure that you go into the community tab, buddy, on the Anfield Agenda YouTube channel, because there is a link there to get your access to the Discord group, which is where we chat about things offline, mate. So hope to see you in there soon, and thank you very much for becoming a member. Right, anybody else seen much of Ben White, and would you like him at Liverpool Football Club? Also, do you think the 15 to 20 million pound valuation is fair, is reasonable? I think it's exactly on the money. That's a number I've been saying for quite a while, and he's only on 10 grand a week as well, so even if you were to treble his wages, it would still be fairly reasonable in this market for a player. Somebody said, Craig, any Todd Cantwell news? Not that I've seen, but you know my stance on Todd Cantwell. I absolutely love Todd Cantwell. Great goal from yesterday against United. Unfortunately got knocked out of the FA Cup, but I thought Todd Cantwell played very well while he was on the pitch there, and Norwich looked doomed to relegation, unfortunately for them, and I would love to see us go out there and bring in Todd Cantwell, especially at somewhere 25-30 million quid. I think that will prove to be an absolute bargain in the long term, I really do. Finn said, when's the date? I think you're talking about the trophy presentation, mate. It's been confirmed to be the Chelsea game, last home game of the season, which as things stand is scheduled to take place on July 18th, but with television companies haven't yet decided exactly who's broadcasting what, that could be moved slightly, but it is the last home game of the season that Liverpool will be presented with the Premier League trophy. Right, what else have we got? Just joined, what's the transfer news? I'm in the middle of it right now, Curry, so you picked the perfect time to join, buddy. I'm going to move on to the next bit of transfer news that I have to talk about, which is, let me just check through my list. No, actually, that is all the transfer news that I have to talk about. Sorry. So we've gone through Koulibaly. So there's been a report that suggests that Liverpool are ready to go in for Koulibaly and they're willing to offer Dejan Lovren as part payment. Napoli president Aurelio De Laurentiis has previously said that any bids of less than £60 million for Koulibaly will be turned down. He's valuing on around 90 million. I don't know what to say on that one, but that's pretty much the transfer news. But there is loads of stuff still for us to go through. I've got some stuff on Robbo, but before I do, let me just let you guys know that we have released our first piece of merch from Anfield Agenda. Where are they? So there you go. They are the mugs, and there is a link in the description if you want to buy these mugs. If you're a member of the channel, again, go onto the community tab of the Anfield Agenda YouTube page, and you will see a discount code there for people who are members. Like we promised, when we have merch, we will give you guys a discount. There is a discount code in the community tab, and again, these mugs are available via the Anfield Agenda Teespring account, and there is a link in the description if you want to have a look at these mugs and see if they're for you. If not, no problemo, but there's a link in the chat as well. So again, yeah, thank you very much for that. Right, let's move on. So Andy Robertson has confirmed the players had a sneaky little plan to get the gaffer to give them a couple of extra days off after the celebrations on Thursday. Speaking about it, Andy Robertson said, "We're trying to convince the boss to give us a few days off, give him a couple more beers, and we'll get those 2 days off." And it must have worked, because the Liverpool players had Saturday off and only returned to training at Melwood today. So well done. Well done to the gaffer for giving them that extra day off, and well done to the lads for getting a few beers into the gaffer and enjoying themselves, because you know what I mean, 30 years waiting for this Premier League title, and it fell at just the right time because they were able to watch the games, have a bit of a celebration, and know that they don't play Manchester City until Thursday, so there's plenty of time for them to rest and recuperate and get the plans in action. So yeah, well done to all the players and well done to Robbo. One more thing that was spoken about a lot today on social media was Bobby Firmino's fantastic new hairstyle, and look, one that I wish I could grow and have. But another important thing to note is what I spoke about earlier on, that Jadon Shaqiri did return to training. He's been out of action since January, but like, he is available to the manager if he wants to use him. And what I was saying earlier on when I said I'd return to this issue is I don't know how much action Shaqiri is going to get if he's definitely going to leave at the end of the season, because I personally would rather see minutes given to Harvey Elliott or Curtis Jones, and players who are going to be here for the long haul. Now again, there's no absolute confirmation that Shaqiri will be leaving at the end of the season. It's just something that's widely believed, but we've yet to hear confirmation from anybody that he will definitely be on the way out. So if he is, if Kloppo knows, if Shaqiri's gone to him behind the scenes and said, "Gaffer, I want to move on at the end of the season, I want more minutes, I'm getting to the tail end of my career," even though he's still 28, I think, Shaqiri 27, 28, maybe he just wants to move on, and that's sound. But if that is the case, then I would rather we give those minutes to the likes of Harvey Elliott, to the likes of Curtis Jones, you know, players that have a long-term future at the club. So that's just my 2 cents on this one, but I'd love to know what you guys think about it. I'm going to dip into the chat now and see what you guys have to say. Mings to replace Lovren, I will pass on that one personally, Barry. I don't think Tyrone Mings is good enough to play for Liverpool, but again, it's just opinions, mate, isn't it? Robert said Saka is good, but he costs too much if you know Arsenal. He's got 1 year left, that kid Saka. And look, this is a name that keeps coming up amongst Liverpool fans as well, and a name that I'm delighted to see us linked with, because Saka is a really exciting young player. Plays down that left-hand side for Arsenal. He has 1 year left on his Arsenal contract. So, you know, Arsenal need to decide, do they get him to sign a new deal, which they're trying to do. Mikel Arteta has come out and spoken often of their desire to get him to sign a new deal, but he's only got 1 year left on his contract as things currently stand, and maybe Liverpool can turn his head. I don't know. I'd love him though. I really, really would like that kid. I've said this quite a lot tonight. There's a load of players out there that I'd love, but you know, this is fantasy football, isn't it? We can come in here and dream. Right, what have we got? We're moving into our new training ground soon, or are we moving into our new training ground soon? The last that I'd heard, building work was paused and then restarted, mate. Now, I don't know if it's going to be ready for the lads to move into at the start, or if there will be a slight delay and maybe they'll move into it a month or two after the season starts. I will try and get more information on that for you, I promise, and as soon as I do, I'll give it to you. I haven't really had a chance to look it up. I think Saka's gifted, utility player, many positions he could cover, so Kieran B. Damien McKenna said he'd love Kai Havertz, so would I, but I just can't see the Kai Havertz thing happening. Maybe I just don't believe it because he's been linked to Bayern Munich fairly strongly, and he's been linked to Chelsea as well. Chelsea haven't put in an offer from what I've read, but yeah, like, there's no denying that the media have certainly let it be known that Bayern Munich want to have Leroy Sané and Kai Havertz as part of their new look attack for next season. Bayern Munich, very well run club that, you know, wouldn't really have problems laying their hands on the money to bring in those 2 players. So I guess we'll have to wait and see again. Backup keeper at left back and a forward would be a great window, said Vinny O'Brien. Absolutely agree with you, mate. The 3 positions, I think most Liverpool fans would agree with you that certainly a backup left back and a backup forward would be top of our shopping list. The only thing about a backup keeper is right now, as things stand, so we have Caoimhín Kelleher, who looks like he might go out on loan. We have Camille Grabara, who's going to come back on loan from Huddersfield. We have Adrian, obviously, and we have Karius. So that's 4 keepers that we need for probably 2 spots, if we're being honest. You need a backup and then a backup to the backup. So who's going to move? I mean, Adrian has come out and said that he plans on seeing out his contract at Liverpool. He has 1 year left, and he said that he has an option for another year, I think. Karius has said that why would he move anywhere unless he's absolutely guaranteed to be first choice, because he's at the best club in the world. He's surrounded by excellence every single day. So something has to give. And I don't see both of those guys being at Liverpool next season. In my mind, Karius moves on. And then what happens with Adrian? Does he go back to Real Betis? I don't know. I genuinely haven't got a clue on this one. But I would like to see us strengthen the position. So there's no argument for me with regards to us needing to strengthen it. We know the links to Erdogan Shaqiri. You're probably sick of me talking about this guy, but he's the only genuine link I can see to a good quality backup goalkeeper that could come in and, as near as anybody, could challenge Alisson for that starting shirt. I think Shaqiri could certainly be an able deputy. What have we got? What do you think should happen to Harry Wilson, said Jamar Spence. I think he should be sold. I don't think he's good enough for Liverpool. That's my humble opinion. He has had a decent season with Bournemouth. Not one that's been standout enough for me to think that Liverpool can implement this guy into our attack and that he can make a massive difference. I just think if the right money came in, the club should move him on. And I think the club will move him on if they can get the right money. What that money is, I don't know. I really haven't got a clue. There was talk of somewhere between 20 to 30 million before the world went into meltdown. I don't know. I genuinely haven't got a clue. There's so many if, ands or buts that none of us know right now. But one thing I like about all of this is Liverpool love to keep us guessing. And I like the fact that we're kept guessing, because under Brendan Rodgers previously, too many leaks have been put out there into the media. We knew about too much of Liverpool's transfer business. Then we've seen things like the Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain transfer happening, the Andy Robertson transfer happening, the Fabinho transfer happening, where nobody really had a sniff. And then bang, all of a sudden, it's put out into the media. Here you go, here's your new signing. And I love that. I absolutely love when that happens. When are we getting the trophy? I've said this a couple of times on the stream, Thomas, but you might be in a little bit late. The last home game of the season against Chelsea, mate. It's scheduled to take place on July 18th, but, that may change as things stand for television viewing purposes. Right, more stuff, more of your comments to get through, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think the owners will sell the club in the next 5 years? Said Kent Coastal Holiday Let's, aka Carl. How are you, buddy? I don't know. I was actually reading an interesting article the other day that suggested that they may not. They may hang on a little bit longer, because I think they've owned the Boston Red Sox for, I think, somewhere like twice the length of time they've owned Liverpool for. And their strategy is usually medium to long term, so I don't know is the honest answer. I hope they don't. I hope they stay for the time being, because stability is really important right now. And what we know with these owners is they're very clever in the way they go about things. They're very capable of bringing in new commercial partnerships. We have this fantastic new kit manufacturer deal with Nike that's going to be starting in August. And they've raised their profile around the world massively. So whoever does come in down the line to buy the club, they will be paying over $2 billion for the right to buy Liverpool Football Club. You did not hear me stutter. It is $2 billion plus is the valuation of this football club right now. And it's funny when you think when they bought the club, if my memory is correct, it was in and around 265, 270 million pound, something like that. So they've certainly seen a good return on their investment. Now, of course, they have made the new main stand. They have a new training ground. They have put in a new club shop. They have improved the ground around Anfield as well. They've done lots of other bits and pieces. So, like all of us, if we bought a house, we stuck on an extension, we did the house up a little bit. Along with the television revenue increase and Liverpool's performances on the pitch, the value of the club is now amazingly at £2 billion. I think it's like 2.2 billion, if my memory is correct, in the last listings of the valuations of football clubs. But I think it was Forbes put out the list. I could be wrong on that one, but yeah, it was over 2 billion. 2 billion. Do you remember the days when it used to be local boy done good came bought the football club? So, some local lad who did really well in business, buys a football club and, runs it because he loves it and has money in the bank. And those days are pretty much gone now, isn't it? Like, it's the real high end of the market for Liverpool. And I think, and I fear, that if they ever do sell it, that they will sell it to either, I suppose the only people that could realistically afford it is somebody who is a multi-billionaire, somebody who is fronting it for a country, or the one that really scares me is somebody who buys it, what are they called? a capital investment fund or something along those lines. You know, somebody who has absolutely fuck all attachment to the club and just views it purely from a pounds, shillings and pence purpose. And look, what we've seen before is owners who come in, leverage the club up when they buy it. So they basically mortgage the club against a loan and then come in and they just take every penny out of the club. Like, I don't want to be in a position at Liverpool that United are in with the Glazers, where so much of United's revenue is being put back out in loan repayments and in dividends and stuff like that. So what we've got right now is we've got owners who are thinking long term. So they come in, they've loaned the club money for certain things like the building of the new main stand. Again, it'll probably be the same, I suppose, when they do the Eddie Road end. But all in all, they're playing the long game. So they're not taking money out of the club every year and stuff like that. They're waiting to get their big payday at the end when they move on. And I've no problem with that. No problem whatsoever. I think they've been very good owners of this club. The problem I have with sugar daddies, before anybody comes into the chat and says, oh, we need somebody like City's owners, or we need somebody like the owners, the Roman Abramovich, or we need somebody like the potential Newcastle owners, they're great until they're bored. And then if they pull the plug or they call in the debts, clubs can be in a whole world of trouble very, very quickly. You just have to look on the continent and in Russia, and I think with Malaga as well, if my memory serves correct, of people who were in these exact scenarios. People came in, threw a load of money at the clubs, brought in a load of players, really high wages, put a load of debt on the club, and then called in that debt, start selling off players, stripping down assets, and before you know it, your club is left high and dry, and this lad is fucked off and doesn't give a shit about the club, has his money back, and he's gone. So that's what worries me about the future, and that's what worries me about potential owners in the long run. Stan Kroenke at Arsenal, said Isaac. I actually don't know the financial situation too well at Arsenal, but obviously I do have friends who are Arsenal fans, and we speak to Claude and his gang, Terry and Diesel, and you know, they aren't very complimentary of Stan Kroenke in the way things are at Arsenal. You have to pick one: Zaha, Redmond, Traore, Saint-Maximin, or Gray, or Grealish. Traore for me, Barry, in that list, buddy. Look, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are really close to hitting 40k. I think we're about 215 subscribers away. So if you want to do us a massive favour and you want to help out the channel, please do hit that subscribe button right now. I'm trying to find the image. I have an image here for 40k. There we go. Yes, look, if you want to help the channel, please do hit that subscribe button and help us on the march to 40k. I hope that we get there for the Manchester City game on Thursday, which will be our next watch along on the channel, by the way. We'll be doing nightly streams right the way through. Tomorrow, actually, I'm actually going to film our late night agenda as always, but then I'm going to do an interview with Dom Rich, you know, Manchester City fan, who I know you guys know who he is. He's a really nice fella. When I finish tomorrow's late night agenda, I'm going to be recording an interview with Dom where we do a bit of a preview for the Manchester City game. Obviously get the input of a Manchester City fan. That'll be something that will be put up on the channel. It won't be live, it'll be pre-recorded, and we'll bang it up then in the coming days. We will have a live preview as well for the Manchester City game where you guys get to have your say. We go through the predicted 11, we go through the score predictions, we brag a little bit about the fact that they're going to have to give us a guard of honour as we march into the Etihad triumphantly as magnificent Premier League champions. Oh, it's beautiful. I still haven't stopped. Inside, I just have this recurring loop of a song saying, I haven't stopped dancing yet. Do you know who else hasn't stopped dancing? This gentleman here has not stopped dancing yet. He has been on a mad one. Say hello to Mr. Newland Voider. He's absolutely fucking delighted that we're Premier League champions. Look at him go. Go on, Newland. Go on. I haven't stopped dancing yet since we met on our first date. Go on, Newland. Go on, son. Dancing all the way to the Etihad he is. Premier League trophy in tow. Conga line down the fucking guard of honour. Go on, son. Do you reckon we'll sign Mbappe, said Robbie? I don't, mate, no. I mean, I'd love it, but I don't think so. Captain Clun said Dominic is a good guy. He is a gent. And I've been meaning to have a chat with him on the channel for a long time. And this just seemed like the perfect opportunity, you know, with the Manchester City game coming up on Thursday. So yeah, really looking forward to having the chat with Dom. Check out his YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. I think he actually has 2 YouTube channels now. But yeah, Dominic Rich is the gentleman in question. Really nice guy. I think you guys will really enjoy his... he's got a good sense of humour as well, which I love in anybody. Craig, has your replica Premier League trophy arrived yet? No, mate, I'll put the kibosh on it for the reason that they hadn't actually got the Premier League lions on it for copyright reasons. So I'm trying to find one that I can get that's an exact replica of the Premier League trophy. So yeah, unfortunately I had to put the kibosh on that one because I want one that looks exactly like the Premier League trophy. Harry Matthews, thank you for the question, mate. Said, what's your opinion on Liverpool apparently swapping Mane for Mbappe? It's a really difficult conversation to have, isn't it? Because Duncan Castles, I know beforehand, I don't like him either, but Duncan Castles has been quoted as saying that Liverpool want to know what the front three's future plans are. So they want to know what Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah and Bobby Firmino want in the future. Do they want to move away? And that's a conversation that I think needs to be had, and it needs to be had with those players. So let's say Sadio or Mo or Bobby says, do you know what, Kloppo, another year at Liverpool, let's try and regain this Premier League title, let's try and get that European Cup back. And then, do you know what, Gaffer, I fancy you move to Spain, I fancy you move to Italy, I fancy you move to France, wherever it might be. If that's the case, and this is all just conjecture, this is all just us having a conversation, 29, that's, they'll all be around 29 years of age then, I think. That's probably the right time if one of them was to move on. Now, if we were to look to bring in Kylian Mbappe, which I don't think we ever will because of his wages, but let's just, spitball this and say that we're talking about it. You probably would need to move on one of the front three, and you probably need to get top dollar for one of the front three as well. I've always thought personally, and this is just my own opinion, that of the front three, Mohamed Salah has always seemed to me like the most likely to want one more chapter in his career. Now this is just complete guesswork. It's not based on anything. No links, no inside information, none of that stuff. He just always struck me as somebody who would end up in a Real Madrid shirt at some point in his career. Now again, you guys might think differently on this, and I hope to God that I'm wrong. But there does come a time where you've got to make the tough calls, and you've got to pull the trigger, and you've got to, time it so as people are, just peaking or just going over the hill, and you cash in for the right money. It's a conversation I think we need to have as grown-ups, or maybe, I'm presuming everybody's grown-ups, but yeah, we need to have a conversation. And if we were to go out and sign a superstar like that, that's the only way I think we could realistically afford it, is maybe moving on one of the front three. None of us want to see any of them leave. I want those three to stay here and finish their careers at Liverpool. I absolutely love the three of them. Love them to death. What have we got? Right, so what do you guys think on this one? I'm going to go back into the chat and see how you guys are feeling on it. And please do let me know your comments, by the way, because this is your show. The Late Night Agenda is an interactive show. Whatever you guys want to talk about, your opinions, I promise you I will do my best to get through them. Again, just a shout out, by the way, to Hot Mike, because it's getting towards the end of the month, so Hot Mike is done on a month-by-month basis. So if you do want to join us for the Watchalong on Thursday, and you're going to download the Hot Mike app, do us a favour and download it before the end of the month and put in that code that you can see on the screen there now. If you don't know what Hot Mike is an app that allows you to sync up our match commentary direct to the game. So basically how the app works is you download the app from the Google Play Store, the Apple App Store. The app is completely free, as you can see on the screen there. It's called Hot Mike. The app's completely free. You download it. It'll ask you for a welcome or a sign-up code. You put in the code that you can see on the screen there now. Anfield, all capital letters. And then you go and you find the game at the time. Obviously on Thursday it'll be Manchester City versus Liverpool. Click on it. Then you'll see a sync button appear on your screen. That sync button is the beauty of the app. It is what the app is built around. It is the fantastic feature of this app. Hit that sync button. The phone or whatever your device is, let's say you're doing it on your phone. Your phone will then listen to your television. When it's synced up, it'll go green and pink. Then you lower down the volume of your television and our commentary will play up perfectly in sync with the game through your mobile phone. Or if you've got a sound bar, you can work it through that as well. It is a fantastic piece of kit. Loads of your favourite football YouTubers are moving across there. Mark Goldbridge is on there. The Anfield Rap Lads are on there. We're on there. Claude's on there. Lee Gunner's on there, Lee Chappie's on there. Loads of your favourite YouTubers are moving across to try out the Hot Mic app. So if you want to help us out, please do use that code as you can see up there. And as I said earlier on, memberships are indeed open on the channel as well. If you want to become a member of Anfield Agenda FC, just click that blue join button. Right, let's get into the chat and see how we're all feeling. Joanne said, Craig, we're on 2,275 followers on Hot Mic. Joanne is our official Hot Mic counter-upper. Thank you, Joanne. Right, keep your comments coming. I have a little bit more news to get through. I have a bit of a comment from Jimmy Milner that I want to talk about, but before that I want to see how you're all feeling. Right, what is there? Come on, will Liverpool sign Adama, said Yannick. I don't know, I'd like him, Yannick. I mean, I think we'd all like him, but in this market, nobody really knows what Liverpool are going to do. Now, I did say earlier on, and I'll pull it back up for you guys who are coming in a little bit late, there has been a report from Mundo Deportivo that state Liverpool have placed an offer on the table for Adama Traore. They didn't say how much that offer was for, but they did say that there were other clubs who have also made their interest in Adama Traore be known. So, take from that what you will. What's your opinion on Robertson saying he never wants to leave Liverpool? It's beautiful, Harry, isn't it? Isn't it fucking beautiful, mate? Yeah, Robbo said that he wants to stay here for 10 more years. Hopefully he can play till he's 33, 34. That's what he said. And then you have Trent, his full-back partner on the other side, saying that he wants to stay at the club for life as well. And it just goes to show you what playing for this club means to those players. Andy Robertson was at Dundee United. Then he played for Hull. He probably never dreamed that he'd be winning European Cups, Premier League, World Club Championships, Super Cups at a club like Liverpool, and we're so happy to have him here. So yeah, I'm all for Andy Robertson staying here for the rest of his career. What a bargain he was. Basically a swap for Kevin Stewart with Hull. Did you let that sink in? We basically swapped Kevin Stewart for Andy motherfucking Robertson and got away with it. It should have been criminal. Michael Edwards should have been locked up. It was so criminal, but no. Yes, Michael Edwards pulled his magic yet again. It is a thing of beauty, and I love having him at this club. There's some beautiful links throughout the years to Scottish players or Scots and Liverpool Football Club in general, isn't there? So Andy Robertson is just the latest one in a very, very long line of fantastic Scotsmen who've been a part of this football club. So yeah, I'm all for it. Keep him here for life. Give him a contract for 10 years right now. Adrian Hall said, I think it's time to play the youth. Yeah, the tricky part about that, mate, and there's some pluses and negatives for this. Now, I'm like you, mate. I'd love to see the youngsters get a chance, and I think with the 5 substitutions available to Jurgen Klopp for the rest of the season, there is a potential for the youngsters to get a chance. But I also want us to go and break that Manchester City points record. So we've 7 games to go. We need 15 points to do it from the 21 available. My prediction right now is that Liverpool will end up on 102 points. That is my prediction. I went through the fixtures earlier on, and that's what I think we'll end up with. I think we may lose one more game and draw one and win 5. Now, we could, of course, go and win 6. We could win 7. We'll have to wait and see. But my prediction is 102 points. Liverpool break Manchester City's record, and Liverpool become the most successful team in the Premier League era, having whacked down 102 points on the table. And that's, to me, how you judge the best team. Right now, in my eyes, that Manchester City Centurions team that racked up 100 points is the best team in the Premier League era per season. Of course, there are teams that have done it on a consistent basis, like Manchester United's teams, Arsenal's teams, some Chelsea teams as well in the Mourinho, that, consistently won titles. And Manchester City have also defended that title as well, which, fair play to them, is a very hard thing to do, especially when we were breathing down their neck last season and we got 97 fucking points and haven't won the Premier League title. I know a lot of Liverpool fans as well would like us to get 103 points, so we've got 200 points over the 2 seasons. And I'm not going to lie, that's a nice round number. I wouldn't mind that to happen. Shan quadruple 0-1 is gone for 104 points. Hope City stop United winning the Cup, said Elijah John 5. Dominus Earth said, hi Craig, what's your prediction for City versus Liverpool? I have a prediction in mind, mate, but I was kind of wanting to wait a little bit later on in the week, but seeing as you're such a gent and you've been so nice to us over the years as well, I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw in that game. That's what I think will happen. I think Manchester City and Pep Guardiola will want to go out there and try and make a statement to show that yes, you may have won the Premier League this season, but we're going to fight back and we're going to want to wrestle that title back. And I think that Guardiola is going to have his players really hyped up for that game. But I don't think they'll beat us. I think that we'll still get a draw from it because I think we're going to want to prove the very same thing from our side. And I'm looking forward to a game of football between what are without doubt the 2 best teams in England by a feckin' mile as far as I'm concerned. And sometimes these games are boring, drawn out affairs, but I hope that with the reins off, with Liverpool having the title in the bag, with City knowing that they've nothing to lose really, I hope both sides just go for it and we have a good, entertaining game of football that shows what the Premier League is all about and what the very best of the Premier League is. And we'll find out on Thursday, but I'm looking forward to it massively. And Nagab's at 105 points. Jadon's gone for 107 points. What else we got? Arsenal Invincible is the most overrated team, said HKM. It's difficult to say they're overrated because they are the only team to have done what they've done, and they went through the season unbeaten. But yeah, they did have 12 draws, something like that, but they're still the only team to go through a season unbeaten, so they deserve respect for that. I just think that Manchester City's points tally is better, in my opinion, because they won more games. They put more points on the board. 2-1 to Liverpool. Isa's going with Liverpool 5, City 0. Michael Murphy's going with. What else we got? We'll get revenge for last season that the Etihad. Lovely to see you in your streams. We are champions, said Sam Southall. Thank you, Sam. Lovely to see you too, mate. It's been so lovely catching up with all of you guys. And just a reminder for those of you coming in late, you have a job to do, motherfuckers. You have to be as unbearable as humanly possible if you're on social media, whether that be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We have to live up to this title. Unbearables. Make sure you're out there rubbing it in all these fuckers' faces. Everybody that wanted the league null and voided. Everybody that wanted an exclamation mark. Everybody that wanted an asterisk. Everybody was reminding us that it's been 30 years. Everybody that said Slippy G. Everybody that called us bottlers. The chickens have come home to roost, motherfuckers. And my God, are they going to roost. We are going to be as unbearable as you thought we were. And then you can multiply that by 2 because we fucking love this shit. We've been waiting for this for 30 years and it is our job as Liverpool fans to be as unbearable as humanly possible. It's your job. Don't let us down. Get out there. Do it. Let people know. What have we got? I'd love Oxlade-Chamberlain to score against City, said HKM. Dominus Earth, a Manchester City supporting friend, said, gonna go with a 2-2 as well. Best 2 teams in England. Proud to give you lads a guard of honour. Do you know what, mate? You are a fucking gent. You really are. I've really loved getting to know you on here over the past couple of years. You've always been somebody that was gracious in victory when you won the Premier League, and you've always been somebody that has been very complimentary towards our club. So thank you, mate. And a 2-2 draw will probably be a good result. I mean, I think everybody will go home a little bit happy with that. Obviously, we're going to want to win. You're going to want to win. But, 2-2 draw wouldn't be the worst, would it? Get in there, Craig, said Kieran B. Champions, said Narvesh. Yeah, we are. Championi, championi. Oe, oe, oe. We dropped less points in 2 seasons than Arsenal did in their invincible team, said Ken Coastal Holiday Let's. Yes, well in, Carl. Nice one, buddy. Right, we are 5 subscribers away from hitting 39,800, you absolute legends. If you are enjoying the stream, please do hit that subscribe button. Let's see if we can make these numbers turn. Hope we smash City and show them why we're champions at Barry LFC. What do you think of the transfer market? I'm intrigued, mate, to see how the transfer market works out because you're seeing links everywhere. United have been linked to everybody under the sun. You've seen loads of Man City links. Chelsea, of course, have bought Timo Werner and they've been linked to Kai Havertz amongst other players. But nobody really knows yet because nobody really knows what they're working with. I mean, the clubs are waiting to see how this situation develops. They don't know when fans are going to be allowed back inside the stadium. And if they are allowed back inside the stadium, how full the stadiums are going to allow. Is it half capacity, 1/10 capacity? And there has been talk that maybe, and this is just talk right now, that maybe the Community Shield or whatever it's called these days, I used to call it the Charity Shield. I don't know what its technical name is these days, but there is talk that that could be used as a test event to maybe bring some fans back inside the stadium. But again, it depends on how this situation develops right now. And the most important thing for me, and I know for all of you guys as well, is that everybody out there stays safe, stays healthy, and follows the government advice, follows the advice from the HSE here in Ireland, the NHS, of course, in the UK. And whoever your healthcare professionals are, just please pay attention to the advice because we want everyone to stay safe. We want everybody to live to come and enjoy another day inside a stadium. So, yeah, look, let's wait and see. Look, I did say I had something to talk about Jimmy Milner, and I fucking love me a bit of Jimmy Milner. So he's opened up about making the move from Manchester City to Liverpool and how he feels that he's been vindicated in his decision to make the switch. Speaking about it, Jimmy Milner said, I like the fact that a lot of people thought I was making a mistake. That's one of these things that drives you on. I was a forced position at Manchester City or going to Liverpool. City's a great place, and I'm sure if I stayed, things would have been good. But it was a chance to go to Liverpool, a hugely successful club, but one that didn't have a recent history of winning things. There were a lot of near misses in a couple of years where I was on the right side of it. Coming in at Liverpool, I saw the hangover of that, and the comments such as, "we nearly won the league," that thinking had to go. They had to move on, and you can see from the journey it was bit by bit improving all the time. Getting 97 points and losing out to a special Manchester City team and not winning the league, now that's make or break really. It's either what else can we do, or is, you know what, we can do better. It was fantastic to win the Champions League, but we knew everybody was desperate to win the league, especially in the context of the great teams Liverpool had, how long it's been, how close they'd been, and how unlucky they'd been. So when I came here, I thought how special it would be to be part of winning a league title. Everyone was desperate to do it, and so to be able to do it now is incredible. I'm so proud of the part this side had to play, especially when you see the scenes and how much it means to the fans. I fucking love James Milner. Can we all take a second to just realise what a special man he is? I think he turned down more money to stay at Manchester City to come to Liverpool for that challenge. And not only has he accepted that challenge, he has been a pivotal part of the mentality, the strong mentality, the mentality monsters, to use a phrase that Klopp used, that these guys have turned into. Jimmy Milner, Yorkshire granite, has come in and he has absolutely shown these guys what a winning mentality is, along with, of course, Jordan Henderson, Virgil van Dijk, our amazing front three, and Alisson, and most importantly, Jurgen Klopp. You can't underestimate the impact that Jimmy Milner has had. He's what we call the Benjamin Button of football. He keeps getting older, but he keeps getting better. He keeps getting fresher. Those legs of his just never seem to get tired. And what a man. He is an example to any youngster out there that's making the way in the sport of how clean living, doing things the right way, you know, looking after yourself in the off-season prolongs your career. And what a pleasure it has been to have James Milner at this football club. And do you know what? I used to think that Gary McAllister was my favourite aging player that came into Liverpool. And Gary McAllister had an amazing impact at Liverpool. That free kick against Everton, I will always love him for. Part of that treble winning team under Gerard Houllier as well. But Jimmy Milner has played a massive part in turning us from almost men into winners. And that winner's mentality is infectious. You know, winning becomes a habit. Winning breeds winning. You get used to it. You go into every season expecting to win trophies. And you need the likes of James Milner, Jordan Henderson in there driving that mentality and not allowing anyone to take a minute off, even in training. It's really interesting to hear Milner saying there that when you got 97 points, enough that would have won you the league title, I think, in all but 2 more years. 97 points and you lose out. You have that question of, well, what do we do? Do we give up? Fuck no. You come back and you say, we got to try and be better, and that's what they've done. They hit the ground running, and look, the rest is history. Liverpool have went out there and absolutely dominated the Premier League this year. Could win it by a record points tally, could get the most wins, the most home wins. We spoke about all the records that these guys could get the other night in the stream. And you got to give Milner a massive part in that. The enduring image of that Barcelona comeback for me last season was him and Hendo just collapsing in exhaustion at the end of the game. Jimmy Milner seeing out that game against Barcelona, shithouse tactics out on the wing, winning a cheap free kick, running down that clock. That is the type of steel that we need. I mean, I've said before, if you go back and watch our early streams, I was saying things like, this Liverpool team are a little bit softer on the edges. This Liverpool team need a bit more gamesmanship. They need to show a bit of the shithouse tactics that we've seen from the likes of Sergio Ramos over the years. And James Milner has brought that in. And I love that Andy Robertson, somebody we spoke about earlier on, I love that Robbo has that shithouse mentality as well. Fabinho has it in spades. Our captain, I mean, Diego Costa is still crying somewhere over the Hendo look that he got. Froze him in his tracks. He hasn't been the same man since. I love that about this group. I absolutely love them. Rex Ramirez said, Milner is my daddy. Love it, mate. Well in. United 99, the clock is ticking, said Robert O'Reilly. What else have we got? Milner is the most professional role model in English football, said Bernadette Farrell. I love him, Bernadette. And he is an exact replica of what you should do. If you were to go in and create somebody's career and say, follow what this man did, he's always fit, he's always winning the bleep tests, as I call them, when you come back from pre-season. You know, when you do that horrible bleep test, I don't know what its actual name is, but I remember doing it in school, and And yeah, not been very good, put it that way. Did anybody else see, actually, Akinfenwa, massive Liverpool fan, plays from Wycombe Wanderers. Apparently he's been fined for wearing a Liverpool shirt to Wycombe training. I seen the images of it, but I didn't know he was fined until I read it earlier on. But apparently he's taking it like the champion that Akinfenwa is. Beast mode, fully turned on, not giving a fuck. Proud to show off his Liverpool colours. I love Akinfenwa. I think we all love a bit of beast mode, don't we? Absolutely love him. Somebody I'd love to get on the channel for a chat, actually. So if you're watching Akinfenwa, one beast mode to another. Let's get this shit on, man. Let's get it together. Let's get on for a chat. Let's give you the platform to let the world know even more how much of a fucking top red you are. I'd love to have a chat with him. The lactose test, said Bernadette. I still feel the pain now, Bernadette, in my legs from doing that when I was in my much fitter days, obviously. Jimmy Milner's a class act, said why Bio97. Kieran B said I love Robbo's aggression. First time I ever used my mod's power, said Elijah John 5. Use that wisely, sir. Use that mod's power wisely. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we've got about 5 or 10 minutes left on tonight's stream, so anything that you want to talk about, please do let us know in the chat. Again, don't forget, memberships are open if you want to click on that, and we've also released our first piece of Anfield Agenda merchandise on the channel, which you will see there now. Those mugs are available via the link in the description of this stream below. Connor may put it into the chat as well, but if you are a member, go onto the Anfield Agenda YouTube page, click on the community tab, and you'll see a discount code that was posted there by Connor for our members. Both these mugs are available to absolutely everybody. As you can see, it shows there the Premier League trophy with the number 20 on it, meaning we won it in 2020, before anyone says it was only 19. The year 2020, and of course champions with the Anfield Agenda logo on the shirt as well. I love them. I know a lot of them have sold already, so they seem to be going down well with people, and it's Connor Crosby's amazing design work. Let's talk about 19, baby, said Dan. Let's talk about it, Dan. Let's talk about you and me. Love watching your stream while playing manager career mode with Napoli, said Sotos. Well in, mate, get it in. Why not? Go win that Scudetto. Don't forget the 20 stands 2020. Yes, it does. It doesn't mean 20 titles. It means the year 2020. Craig, make sure the cups are top of the table. Do you get it? Make sure the cup... No, I don't know what that is, mate. Make sure the cups are top of the table. Do I get it? Nope, that's bypassed me. Joanne, thank you for the super sticker, mate. I don't know what that emoji is. There's a little dude is shown there, but thank you very much. Sam Maximin is a Traore backup for Mane and Salah, said Byron. Not for me, mate. He's had a good impact at Newcastle, but I don't know if he's quite there. You'll Never Walk Alone FC said 300 off 40k. We're not even 300. I can tell you right now that number is really close to changing to 39,800. So if you are enjoying the stream, please do hit that subscribe button. It'd be lovely to see that number move before we head off. Best stream on YouTube. Wow, that is a massive compliment, Mr. Bud. Thank you. James Rodriguez or Dybala? Dybala every day of the week. James Rodriguez is somebody who's far too hit and miss for my liking anyway. But again, I don't see either of those players coming to Liverpool. But if that was the question, Dybala would be my answer. Give Milner a lifetime contract, said Milo. It's a mug, said Joanne. Oh yes, I was looking at what was in the mug, Joanne. Sorry, I was looking at what was in the mug. Duh. But yes, it is a mug. And again, those mugs are available via Teespring, but there is a link in the description below if you want to click on it. Pranav said, hi Craig, do you think City playing twice after we played and getting extra rest will give us an advantage? Yes, I do. I do think that, mate. Look, Manchester City have a very good squad that Pep Guardiola can rotate. He said that he plans on using the 5 substitutes in every game because he wants to keep his players fresh for the Champions League in August. So, yeah, look, they have more minutes in their legs since we've come back, no doubt about it. But, you know, it's going to be a great game. The 2 best clubs in England, hands down. And I predicted a 2-2 draw, but I just hope it's a good game of football. Again, just want to confirm that Pep Guardiola has said that they will, of course, give Jurgen Klopp's men the guard of honour onto the pitch, which is a classy act, so well done on that one. Milner emoji, said Vinny O'Brien. I don't know, mate. We'll have to get Connor onto that one. How do you portray Jimmy Milner in an emoji? That's a really difficult one. Craig was reading an article about Nat Phillips. Reckon we'll loan him out again or keep him around the first team, said Daniel O'Donoghue. Thank you very much for bringing that up, Daniel, because yeah, Nat Phillips is somebody who's almost a forgotten man at times, along with Marco Grujic. He's currently on loan at Stuttgart. Stuttgart, I think, is the town he was born, if my memory's right in this one. And I don't know. I genuinely don't know, mate. I don't know whether Whether he'll come back, I don't know whether he'll go back out on loan, or I don't know whether he'll go permanently. But what I do know is when I've seen him play, he's looked okay. Now, okay in the sense that would he be a good fourth choice centre back? I don't know if he's quite up to that level yet. But I do trust Jurgen Klopp to make the right decision on it, mate. But yeah, it's a good show. And again, Marco Grujic. What do you guys think about Grujic? Before we head off tonight, give me your opinion on Marco Grujic if you'd be so kind, folks, in the chat. When are you on next at Just in the Woods? Tomorrow. We're going to be doing every night, mate. Every night right up to the City game. And we will be covering the City game on Hot Mic as well. So make sure you download that app, as I said, and put in the code Anfield as you sign up. So yeah, tomorrow night what we're going to be doing is we'll do a regular stream at about 8:30, and then I'm going to film that interview or that match preview with Dom Rich, the Manchester City fan. That will go up on the channel in the next day or two, but I will do a live preview as well for the City game. Do that on Tuesday. We'll go through team predictions, we'll go through score predictions and all that stuff. So that'll be Tuesday. Wednesday we'll again look ahead to the City game. We'll go through some transfer news, and then on Thursday we will, of course. I think Connor's going to join me actually for this game, so I think we will be going through it. MUFC said Fernandes is better than Henderson. Yeah, fuck off, mate. Nobody gives a shit what you have to say. Honestly, Bruno Fernandes, Mr. I take 500 shots a game. He's a completely different player to Jordan Henderson, so even comparing them shows that you know nothing about football, mate. So take your shitty opinions and your salty Manchester United bollocks and go and do one, mate, because nobody gives a fuck what you have to say. Only one of those men is about to lift the Premier League title above their head, and it ain't Bruno fucking Fernandes, pal. It is Jordan Brian Henderson, Premier League champion, European champion, world champion, Super Cup champion, and Jordan Henderson answers to no man. So you can take your Bruno Fernandes propaganda and ship it back to Manchester, pal, because it's all about the Hendo shuffle on here. Hendo all the way. Grujic is okay, said Callum Creston. He should stay, said Gerbs. Keep Grujic, said Mark Hendley. What else is there? Koulibaly in the 3-4-1-2 formation, then we can go to a 4-3-3 formation, said Dave Clark. Imagine even comparing Bruno Fernandes to Jordan Henderson. Like, it just isn't a like-for-like comparison. It's embarrassing that you even made that fucking comparison, mate, because they're just not like-for-like players. This is the type of shit that drives me mad on social media, by the way. People just using stats that they don't understand and comparing players that just aren't comparable. If you want to make a like-for-like comparison with Hendo, you know, there are other players like United that you could probably do it with, but Fernandes ain't it. Jordan Hendo shuffle, our champion, said Blue. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is, Blue. Do you think Hendo will retire with us? Do you know, it's not something I've given much thought to. It's a good question, but it's not something I've given much thought to. I think it'd be very close to it, because again, Hendo seems like the type of player who will play for a few more years. Play till 34, 35. I think, you know, he's like Milner. He looks after himself. You'll never walk alone, FC, said Martin Odegaard is a good midfielder. He definitely is a good midfielder, mate. I think he's on loan at Sociedad, isn't it? If my memory serves me correct, from Real Madrid. And he's a player that we looked at before he signed for Real Madrid, and I'm sure that our scouting team and Jurgen Klopp have kept track on him. But he's having a very good season as well, so I would say yes, it's a good link, it's a good shout, but I don't know if there's any real interest or if Real Madrid would even consider selling him. So when's the presentation happening, said FR77, the Chelsea game, buddy, last home game of the season. It's currently scheduled to take place on July the 18th, but television schedules might move that a little bit. How did you get that chair? It came from a company called Serendipity Furniture. You can find them on Facebook, you can find them on Instagram, you can find them on Twitter. It's a family business that's run by Paul and Beth. They make wonderful bespoke leather furniture. And if you do go over and you do ask them about anything, tell them we sent you, and I promise you they'll give you at least a £100 discount off any chair. But yeah, I'm very proud of this chair, and I'm very thankful to Paul and Beth for looking after us as well and sending it over to us. It takes pride of place in me gaff, even though it drives my wife mad because it doesn't fit anything, doesn't suit anything in our sitting room. But look at it. It's a beast. It's magnificent. What else have we got? Have we having a bus parade as well? Not that I'm aware of. I mean, obviously you have to wait for things to you know, settle down with regards to what's going on in the world right now. I'm very nervous about even saying the word of that virus, because YouTube have already warned us in a previous video. I think it was when this thing started. We mentioned something about it and we got a warning. Nearly got a fucking strike for it. Craig, you can get the Premier League trophy from Amazon. I ordered it from there. Is it a full size one though, John? And if you could do me a massive favour, buddy, if you could just send me a link to that, You can do it either in the Discord group, John, if you want to go in there later on, because you're a member now, so you can access the Discord group, or you can email it to me, John, if you get a chance, buddy. contact@AnfieldAgenda.com or AnfieldAgenda@Outlook.com, John. Either one of those, and I really would appreciate it. Right, what else have we got? Mark Caldwell, how are you, buddy? Lovely to see you in as well. Thank you for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call that one a night. Thank you so much again for spending time with us. If you do me a favour, hit that subscribe button before you head off if you haven't yet subscribed to the stream. We're very close to our 40k end of season target. I think that we'll get there by the Manchester City game, but look, we need your help to do it. So again, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you've got the notifications turned on. We'll be live again tomorrow at 8:30 with another late night agenda as we start to look towards that massive showdown at the Etihad. Last season's champions, or technically this season's champions, against the new kids on the block, the new Premier League champions. The Reds are Premier League champions. It's fucking beautiful. Again, there's a link for the mugs as well in the description if you want to have a look at those. If you're a member, there's a discount code for our members on the Anfield Agenda YouTube page on the community tab. But look, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure chatting with you as always. Thank you for giving up your time on a Sunday night to come here and chat with me. I really appreciate it. Lots of love to each and every one of you. And up the motherfucking Reds. I will talk to you superstars tomorrow. Take care.